Shabatz, and here's today's top story. Here today we have a special guest, Marcus Aurelius.
Hi Joe, how are you?
I'm good, Marcus. Not to say you were looking very healthy. This is a great little setup you got here. I mean, I love the fireplace, and these chairs are quite comfortable.
Well, thanks. And I love taking long walks on the beach, and my apartment smells of rich mahogany.
Okay then, let's begin with this interview. What was the background of Rome in the time of your rule?
Well, when I first entered the position of ruler, Rome was in a great time of peace due to the 4 good rulers before me. However, during my reign, a great amount of conflict arose.
Oh. So, Marcus, you've been known as a lot of different names, correct?
Yes, Joe Shabatz. In the year 121, I was called Marcus Annius Catulus Severus. In 136, I was called Marcus Annius Verus. In 139, I was then called Aurelius Caesar. And in March of the year 161, I was called Imperator Caesar Marcus Aurelius Antonius Augustus.
I really never knew that one's name could change around like that. It's fascinating.
Well, yes, Joe. One's name changes often due to actions on and off the battlefield. It really is fascinating indeed.
Yes, it is. So how did you get some of these names?
Well, my mother and father gave me the name Marcus Annius Catulus Severus in my day of birth. It was quite a long name. This was April 26th, 121. In 136 it was, the year of my marriage, I was given a new name, Marcus Annius Verus, which was the name of my father. In 139, I was finally considered a Caesar, which literally means long hair. However, it's not there anymore. In March of 161, Antonius Pius died and was succeeded by me, his son-in-law. So I was given his name of Antonius because he adopted me in order for the power to pass on.
Wow, that is a lot of changing. I bet sometimes you forgot which name you were called because you just had so many names.
Occasionally I did, but however, each name tells a great story.
Oh, I see. So, Marcus, tell us a little bit about you growing up.
Well, my mother, Domitia Calica, was a lady of consular rank. She was a very, very powerful woman. I was originally Spanish and had received a patrician rank within Rome from Vespasian, one of the great emperors before me. I was 3 months old when my father died, and was then adopted by my grandfather. The honorable training, which I received from my grandfather and my mother, must have been all perfect. My righteous qualities attracted the attention of Hadrian, who, playing upon the name Verus, said it should be changed to Verissimus. Hadrian adopted my uncle, Antoninus Pius, under the condition that he turned adopted both my 17-year-old self and Lucius Sionus Commodus, the son of Aurelius Caesar. Lucius had originally been intended by Hadrian as his successor, but died before him.
Very interesting. You had a very colorful childhood, it seems. What happened once Antonius Pius died?
Well, like I said before, I was his successor. He adopted me in order to have a strong, competent successor. This year was 161. It was the start of my reign. However, it was not only me ruling for part of the time.
Oh, I see. So, wait, there was another person with you when you were ruling?
Exactly, Joe. From 161 all the way to 169, I was ruled Lucius Verus as co-emperor.
And then what happened to Lucius Verus?
He died, Joe.
Oh, it's terrible.
Yes, it was a sad day, but also the beginning of my reign as the sole emperor.
Oh, so I guess it was a very bittersweet moment, I guess.
Yes, exactly. You hit the nail on the head with that one, Joe.
Thanks. So, tell us something interesting about yourself, Marcus.
Well, let me think. I know. I was considered very unique in my day, for I was one of the only rulers who led a philosophical life.
Oh, I see. So, speaking of that philosophical life, you wrote many of these thoughts and self-examinations. You wrote them down, right?
True, Shabatz. I wrote these examinations down in my 12 short books called Meditations. These 12 books contained my thoughts of me and my life.
Oh, I've read some of them. Your work is brilliant, man.
Well, thank you. Although I can't take all the credit, for much of my great intellect is due to the hard work of my tutor, Herodotus Atticus.
What was it like working with Herodotus?
Wonderful. A significant amount of my thoughts often bring me back to the days studying with Herodotus. It was truly a great opportunity.
Oh, that's great. So, moving on, do you like your son and successor, Commodus?
Well, as portrayed in many educational books and movies, Commodus was useless. He was the end of the 5 good emperors. However, I still love my son. He's my son, of course, but he's a good boy. It's just, he's not fit for a ruler. I just can't see it.
Oh, I see. I mean, that's tough, you know? He's your son, but on the same time, he's not a good ruler. It's just tough to, how are you going to treat him, you know?
I'm glad to see you see it my way. It's just, it's a pickle.
All right.
But there's no good in lying. You of all people know that.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I never seem to get away with my language arts assignments. So on that note, we're going to go to commercial, and when we get back, Joe's going to talk about, Marcus is going to talk about his wars that he was in. Welcome back, guys. I'm here with Marcus Aurelius, as you guys know. So, Marcus, what is all this talk about you ruining the chain of adopted heirs?
Well, Shabatz, I was just giving the throne to my son. I believe my true blood should be my heir. It's quite personal. This is a personal choice, and it just happened to be that after my choice, fellow rulers decided to do the same and use their biological children as their heirs as well.
I see, and we're referring to Commodus, Marcus's biological son.
My boy.
Can you give us a brief synopsis of all the wars you participated in your day? Because if I believe correctly, you have been a leader through a number of these struggles.
That's true. Absolutely, Joe. Well, in 168, I left Rome for a tour along the Danube. While there, I stayed in Aquila, and this was while Lucius was still alive, my good friend. Then, when Lucius died, however, I had to take over his role and go off into war against Germanic tribes. Then in 170, I led the war from Carnuntum, and there I celebrated Decennalia, which was a great festival. And with my win, I accepted the title Germanicus. In 173, there was a revolt in Egypt, and that was suppressed. And then after the suicide of Aviduic Cassius Commodus, I made a tour to the east. And there we stayed in Alexandria, which was quite large. And in 176, the tour through Syria took place. Then we moved into Asia. And after that, I returned home. However, after I reached home, there was unrest among the tribes along the Danube again. So I had to travel back again to Danube.
Wow, that seems like a lot of travel and work for the Emperor Marcus Aurelius.
It really was. But it was not only I who was working during that time. While I was touring, Commodus was making himself known. In 177, he was proclaimed consul.
Well, it's truly a great story, I must say.
Yes, but soon after, in 180, I died. Fortunately, I died a natural death. No one killed me. This was quite a hot topic because, as portrayed in public movies, such as I was killed by Commodus. However, this is rubbish. I died a natural death.
Yes, he did.
I was the last of the 5 good emperors.
And a great emperor, Marcus Aurelius. Let's just review. He was a great guy. He had a lot of different names. He fought a lot of different wars. And overall, he was just one of the greatest emperors of Rome, after the 5 great emperors.
Well, thanks, Joe.
And, well, guys, on behalf of me and Marcus, that's it for tonight. And live from the Roman Empire, it's the year 181. Nice to meet you.